Hey y'all. So we are just going to chat tonight if that's okay with you. We're going to start with how strange the internet is. Because since I've been doing this daily vlog, I've had deeply personal connections online. Connections that are realer than I thought was possible online. Like this video that I made the other night, I had a migraine. I was about to give up on this project, on the world. I hated life. And I made that little 1-minute video about not being grumpy, but being grateful. Your comments gave me life, seriously. I put so much energy into making these every day, and to get comments back that they're making even the slightest little dent of an impact in your lives is also, the internet is weird in the fake ass relationships that it can bring, which I have additionally noticed since daily vlogging. I've always been really great at creating content. I've never found it super fun to promote that content and try to get everybody in the world to look at it, although I know that that is 50% of the equation of making an impact, is you got to make sure that people look at it. So since launching this project, I have tried to start experimenting with doing that more. Let me just be honest about what that looks like. That looks like using hashtags that I feel like are supposed to be strategic, but that just make me feel icky. And then these comments that I get on the videos by some people, not y'all. Some people, I guess, write comments on every single video that's a new upload on YouTube, and I get lumped in that bunch. So I'll get a comment that's like, yo, dude, I really love your videos, man. And I'm like, you obviously did not watch this because I ain't a dude. Or somebody will be like, this video was so dope, and the video was 10 minutes long, and you just posted that comment like 30 seconds after it was uploaded. No. Don't come at me like that. I feel like relationships on the internet are just like anywhere else. If you come at people insincerely and you just ask them to follow you and you don't give a shit about what they're doing, your relationships are going to be shallow. I don't ever want to make anyone feel like that. That's like the opposite of why I'm doing this. And that makes the real comments and the actual connections that I'm making like this is actually doing something. I don't really mind if I don't have 1 million followers. If those 1 million followers only followed me because they wanted me to follow them back and I'm not really helping the world, I don't care. I'd rather have a small group of people that I'm really impacting. Anyways, another thing is, I'd love your feedback on this. I stayed up till like 2 a.m. last night editing this video about Startup Grind Global Conference. And that's because I had a lot of interview footage, which I love. But interview footage takes much longer to edit because I can't predict what the person is going to say in the same way that I can plan out what I'm going to say. That being said, I feel called, pulled, crazily propelled toward interviewing people. And the 2 a.m. thing is very concerning for me, along with the daily vlog thing, along with the self-care thing. My big vision, though, is combining educational, inspirational interviews with business leaders, especially underrepresented business leaders, with the fun and authenticity of vlogging. And I, for some reason, am audacious enough to think that I'm the person that can do this. The reason I want to do interviews is because they provide so much value, but a lot of times I find the format that they're delivered in extremely boring or unrelatable. When I look at interviews with business leaders that I want to learn from, oftentimes they are done on a podcast, which is way too long and includes way too much BS that I just don't want to listen to, or they're done on some fancy stage, which is cool, but y'all look like little dots on a stage, and it's also, y'all are kind of like up on a pedestal, and I wish I knew what your daily grind was like. What does your office look like? What does your home look like? What do you like when you're not on that stage? That would be very inspiring for me. And that's a series that I started a little while ago called The Big Hearted Hustler Show. Miles and I started filming these entrepreneurs and going to the places where they worked. I didn't know what I was creating at the time, but I think I was meant to get to this point. If you imagine the content of This Week in Startups or Startup Grind delivered in the style of Casey Neistat or Sarah Dietschy, I think that makes the content much more effective and impactful. And that's my dream, along with showing alternative realities of what the typical business entrepreneur that's successful looks like, which if you're not a white male and you're looking for inspiration and advice from entrepreneurs, it can be frustrating. And even if you are a white male, no matter who you are, there's a typical version of success in business that's presented too frequently. And I love hearing your feedback about what you would appreciate seeing highlighted in the startup scene. Okay, all that being said, there also is so much value in a daily vlog. Having a daily presence in someone's life, creating that habit for them to check in, that creates this intimacy in our relationship. It's unparalleled. You can't match that. And if you think of some of the most successful shows, they've been grounded in a single personality who is inviting themselves into people's lives on a daily basis, like Oprah or Ellen, right? So I'm a bit conflicted after yesterday's edit, to be honest. I'd love to hear some thoughts. I don't think that daily vlogs and interviews, I don't think that's a formula that's sustainable over the long term. But what I'm going to do in the coming months, and I do have some client work that's going to keep me from going full steam ahead, but that's okay because it's really cool work and I got time. But as I move forward, I think I'll try different things. I'm doing the daily vlogging now. Maybe when I start the interviews, I'll do a month of publishing 3 times a week to make sure that I can keep up with those. And then I'll rely on your feedback to tell me, what do you think is the most impactful content? Because that's really what matters to me. I do think there's value in showing my life, showing all of these interviews and these experiences through my lens, because I hope, the regular Jane that people can relate to. But there are already plenty of people who are filming every little thing in their lives, from filling up their cup of coffee in the morning to taking the bus to the grocery store. I don't know, but you get what I'm saying? I don't think that the world needs another one of those video series as much as it needs a series that shares insights from business leaders, and especially thought leaders that are underrepresented in this wildly authentic, relatable form that is vlogging. Because to me, that is truly exciting, to think about how many young people those business leaders could reach, how a whole new generation, entire new sections of society that haven't traditionally thought of themselves as entrepreneurs can access and relate to this content in a way that the current forms just don't allow them to do that, because they're kind of boring. So yeah, anyway, those are my thoughts. That's a whole lot of thoughts, but the too long didn't read version is thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening, and thank you to everybody that commented the other night and gave me life. Let me know what you think of all this foolishness that I just spouted out, and tell me what's giving you life today. All right, bye y'all.